Okay, good morning. Lee, good morning. Good job up there. Today is the 17th day of Elul. I want to call the class today that are the same thing but different. Same thing but different. It's kind of a paradox. No, that's not what it is. It's just, how could it be the same thing but different? Our souls are the same thing as its source, which is Hashem. At the same time, it's very different. That's the point. Okay.
Every Hashem is a physical God, all of Hashem. Of course, you say Hashem, then that means that if Hashem, then see, every soul should be the same. We're supposed to be the same. We're not the same. We're not the same.
Right, exactly. Okay, page 76 in the Chayenu, or on your app, wherever your app takes you. All right, Chabra. We're starting a new section, Epistle 15. Lahavin Marshal Umelitza Divrei Chachamim V'chidoisim Be'inyan Asfiros. Okay, this is going to take us. Remember, yesterday was kind of like nice, light and fluffy. You know, you do tzedakah, you do tshuva, you do your part, you bring light into Eretz Yisrael and to the rest of the world. Now we're going to take a deep dive into some spiritual, esoteric, an esoteric journey. Okay, so to understand the allegory and metaphor, the words of the wise and their riddles, now at least we know it's a riddle, with respect to the spheres. We're going to talk about the spheres, the holy emanations and chain descent. Udas zois ba'aretz. It's known throughout the land from the mouth of the heavenly saints, may their souls resting on Eden. So now let's try to understand. They're going to try to explain what does the pasuk mean when it says, "And from my flesh shall I behold God." What? Could I try to understand God in this physical body? The pasuk speaks of a partial understanding of Hashem's blessed divinity from the consideration of the soul, which is vested in the flesh of man. So first of all, we're not understanding God from our perspective, but from the perspective of our neshama, which is invested in a body. Okay, now we're already getting somewhere. This corresponds to the correspondence between the neshama, the soul, and its creator accords with the teachings of our sages. On the pasuk, give praise, my soul, to Hashem. Baruch nafshi, the kapitel that we say on. That's right. Ma kadosh baruch hu v'chulu af haneshama. So just as the Holy and Blessed be He permeates the whole world, so does our neshama permeate the entire body. Our soul is not just in our brain where it starts or in our heart, but it's everywhere, in every part of the body. So since the sages go on to enumerate the other similarities between the neshama, the soul, and God, it's clear that from the soul, we're able to catch a glimpse of things as they exist above. The soul is really a godly entity within a physical body. But how can we compare it? So Alter Rebbe now goes on to quote the Zohar, the Kabbalah, that the soul derives from the innermost aspect of godliness. And it shares a characteristic with the supernal spheres and levels of God Himself. We're therefore able to understand godliness through the analogy of the soul. If the soul comes from the innermost of God, we could understand godliness through understanding the soul somewhat. According to the teachings of the Zohar, the Kabbalah says, and He blew into his nostrils the soul of life. He who blows from within, from his inwardness and inner being. Try to blow the shofar. We're blowing the shofar now during the month of Elul. I know it's hard to hear it on the Zoom. Still haven't figured out the technique of allowing the sound to come through. But when you blow, it's a setting. Can you show me what it is?
Yeah.
So hang on one second. Let's do that right
You
now.
get rid of the setting, like in my
So now he says, he who blows from within. When you blow the shofar, you blow, and we have the setting set up now. Thank you, Lee. For tomorrow, you'll be able to hear the sounds of the shofar, so we'll have it going.
Try it right now. I mean, not right now. After.
But I'm right here. I have to step back a little bit.
Right, I'm saying.
Yeah. We can do that at the end. Yeah, we'll do that at the end. Okay, so when you speak, we've said this many times recently, we talked about this not long ago in the Tanya itself, that when you speak, you say words you can speak for a long time, it's coming from the breath of your mouth. When you take a deep, deep breath and you blow hard, can't do that too much. You pass out. Because it comes from deep within and it takes a lot of exertion. This is all stuff familiar to Hanan. He knows this stuff. He learns Torah. Good to Torah. Right, Hanan? For even a nefesh, a soul of the lowest grade of Asiya, meaning the lowest world, derives from the union of Zah, with the acronym of Zeir Anpin, meaning the bracket of 6 masculine midos or emotive attributes. As we said yesterday, Hamevin Yavin, I'm sure you Kabbalists know what we're talking about. This is deep stuff. So it's the union of Zah with Nukva, the acronym of Zeir Anpin, the bracket of 6 masculine midos, with Nukva, meaning the feminine attribute called Malchus of Asiya. Okay, what does this mean? Meaning, Asiya is the lower world. Atzilus, the highest world. Riya, Yetzirah, and Asiya, this world down here. Meaning a nefesh in the world of Asiya is born of the union of the above, masculine and feminine midos. Feminine midos, this union being called Yichud or Zivug, Zun, which is the acronym for Zah and Nukva. So Zah is the masculine, Nukva is the feminine, and what's born? The neshama down in this physical world all the way down here. Remember, 5 levels of the soul, right? That's why we have the 5 candles. So the union of the moichin of Chabad and the acronym for the intellective soul faculties of Chachma, Bina, and Das, together constituting the moichin of Zah, the masculine, and Nukva, the feminine, in the world of Asiya, which are the Chaya and Neshama of Zah and Nukva. There's Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. So Chaya is the second level. Yechida is one with God. That's why it's called Yechida, unity. But Chaya is right below that. So we have Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. Neshama is just below Chaya. So the Chaya and Neshama of Zah and Nukva, with that union, producing the soul, which with the nefesh, which comes into this world. So foreshadowing and the above mentioned union at the level of the lower emotive sphere is the union which first brings a nefesh to the stage of potential creation, is that which takes place at the level of the higher intellective spheres. So the two partners to this union are called the soul level. On the soul level are called Chaya, which represents the level of Chachma, the masculine element, and the soul level of Neshama, representing the level of Bina, the feminine element. So thus even a soul is birthed, right? Even a soul that's merely of the level called Nefesh comprises of all the spheres of the world of Asiya, which is Chachma, Bina, and Zah, the 6 emotive attributes, and Nukva, and incorporates as well the Nukva, the Malchus, which is the lower level. Shehein hein achirayim de kelim de Zeir Anpin v'Nukva da Asilus. These in turn are the external aspects of the kelim of the vessels of Zah and Nukva of Atzilus. See, Atzilus is the highest level. So this is the external aspect of the vessels of Zah and Nukva of Atzilus. For the kelim of Zah and Nukva of Atzilus illuminate and are infused within the spheres of the world of Asiya. And the world of Asiya are thus, the spheres of Asiya are thus the external aspects of the kelim of Zah and Nukva of Atzilus. Okay. Shemelikus mamish. So they, the kelim of Atzilus, even though it says it's the external aspect and it's the vessels, they're truly divine, they're godliness. Atzilus is the highest you can get, meaning closest to Hashem. That's why it's called Atzilus, as we explained. Atzilus comes from the word Eitzel, like right next to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There you go. What are in these kelim? There radiates the infinite godly light which is vested and concealed in the Chachma of Atzilus. For reasons explained in the Alter Rebbe, in the Alter Rebbe's note to chapter 35, indeed the infinite light vested in Chachma illuminates all the vessels, the kelim, of the spheres of Atzilus. The supernal father nests in Atzilus. Okay. The Ihu ve'garmohi chad ba'Atzilus. God, the infinite and safe light, and his kelim are one in Atzilus. So since the sphere of Atzilus are the internal aspect of the sphere of Asiya, which is down here all the way in this world, the infinite Ein Sof light is thus vested within the spheres of Asiyah. So it comes from this high, very, very high place connected to and one with Hashem. His Kalim and he are one in Atzilus. And then it comes all the way down here and is vested in the spheres of Asiyah down here in this world. Akain gam benishmas ha'adam meir Ein Sof baruch hu v'lubash v'ganus ba'or ha'chachma sheba lachiyas es adam. So since the soul derives from these spheres, it follows that the infinite Ein Sof, this eternal light, radiates in the soul of man and is vested and concealed in the light of its chachma in order to animate man. It comes from all the way up there, right next to Hashem, and it comes down into this world. If it's part of the soul and it gives birth to this soul, and then the soul comes into man, then it's in me right now and in you. How do we tap into and understand any of the spiritual realms and the spheres? Through our soul, which comes from that very high abode. For they all radiate in his soul, which comprises of them. So how do we understand the highest level of the spheres of God? Tap into your soul. How do we do that? We'll soon see. So since the soul derives from the 10 spheres, and hence comprises 10 corresponding faculties, man can arrive at an understanding of the supernal spheres through contemplating the dynamics within his soul. How do we do that? We have to learn the Kabbalah of what the soul is, understanding our own self, our own essence, our own piece of God within us. And once we do that, we can understand what the spheres are all about, where that part of God comes from, how it comes all the way down into this world. But the takeaway is because Hashem has blown into you from his inner self, we parallel God in our makeup. So we could understand the divine structure by understanding ourselves. Can we? I don't know, but let's see. We'll continue tomorrow on Chai Elul, the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe, which begins tonight. And everyone have a wonderful day.
Try to record it.
Oh, I'm going to try to move to the corner and see if you guys, Yuda, I need you to give me some feedback on this one. Sorry everybody, I'm just going to give a little shofar blast here. How did that sound?
Amazing.
Good.
Oh, finally, Lee, you made it. You just a whole breakthrough. You broke through. You changed everything. You broke through the heavens. Like the Zoom is like in the heavens.
Yes.
So the shofar just
like the
blasted.
cloud.
Yeah, the clouds. The shofar just blasted through the clouds. You know, the Zoom cloud. All right, Chavra, have a good day. Yuda, I'll see you soon.